What's good, y'all, man? We are back again with another top 10 players list. Before we get into this video, man, I want to say I should have up my second TikTok video and my first YouTube Shorts video right before this video. So if you don't mind, please go check that out. TikTok link gonna be down below. But going straight into this list, man. Now, if you're new, if the player hasn't played 41 games, they will not be on my list. And I'm getting my positions all for basketballreference.com. So if you don't think a player is a small forward on Basketball Reference, he is a small forward. So if you have a problem, talk to him. Don't DM me, please. Don't do that. I actually got a couple one of those, and it made me mad because I tell you in every video, don't do that. It's stupid. But all right, listen. Before you watch this video, I made one big mistake. I did not put Jimmy Butler. Shout out to my nigga Rudy, bro. As soon as I seen that shit, I deleted the fucking video, and it was doing good. That's why I'm mad. So please just watch this whole video. Jimmy Butler would have been the third best small forward. So everybody else just moved them back down. So I think the last person was OG. He will not make the list if I redo this. I'm not redoing this whole video. Hell no. I'm just gonna do this. Jimmy Butler would have been the third best after LeBron and KD. He would have been right in front of Tatum. So I mean, I can explain, like, Jimmy Butler, like, we all know who he was, man. Dominated in the playoffs. One of the best playoff performances we've seen in a minute. I wish he would have had help last year because they definitely would have went to the finals. They wouldn't won. But if Ben would have showed up, Tyler Hero would have did anything before he got hurt, they definitely would have won because that's all they needed was one more person. But yeah, sorry for that mistake. All the people, watch the video again, please. To start off this list, at number 10, we have OG Anunoby. Now, while doing my research for this list, I was really surprised by his stats. One, because when you're looking at the Raptors, at times, OG can be a fourth or fifth option. It'd be nice where Gary Trent is going crazy, or it'd be nice where Scotty Barnes is ahead of them. And then it'd be nice where both of them are ahead of them. And then you already know you have Fred and Pascal already ahead of him. And then I'm looking at his stats. He's averaging 17 and 5 while shooting 4 threes a game and hitting 36% of them. That's kind of crazy to me. A fourth option, then there a fifth option, averaging 17 points is really wild. And then when you're looking at him, man, he's one of those hybrid 3-and-D wings, and you will hear that term a lot this video because there's a lot of them on this list. But what I mean by hybrid is normally the standard 3-and-D wing is like a Mikal Bridges. He just shoots the 3, 6 amazing defense, nothing more, nothing less. When you're looking at OG Anunoby, he shoots the 3, 6 amazing defense, but at times when games like Pascal's not playing or Fred VanVleet's not playing or they're both not playing, OG can go out there and get you damn near 25, 30. He's done it plenty of times. He's shown us that plenty of times, and that's why I say he's a hybrid 3-and-D wing. And I'm just saying, like, again, I'm surprised he averaged that much. I don't remember OG going that crazy last year. So shout out to OG. He is the first person we name on this list. At number 9, we have RJ Barrett. Now, RJ kind of have an up and down year. He had a real up and down year. But those last 20 to 25 games earned him a spot on my list. I cannot lie. It earned him a spot on my list. Now, me personally, I can't even lie. Coming out of college, I wanted RJ on the Cavs. I'm not going to lie. But then they figured out we had the 5th and they had the 3rd overall pick. I knew RJ wasn't going past 3. But since he's been in the NBA, I haven't been that big of a guy on RJ. But those last 20 games showed me why Knicks fans are so high. In the last 21 games, RJ averaged 24 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 4 assists a game. Now, the percentages were down, but you expect that coming from a young guy, especially when it's his time to finally get the ball. Because when you look at RJ's first few years in the league, he was never really the number one guy. And they were trying to force it to Julius Randle for the past few years, but then Julius Randle got hurt in the beginning of the second half of the season, and that's when Tibbs let RJ do his thing, and he hooped, man. He hooped the whole second half of the year, and it made me put him this high on this list, man. A couple games that jump off to me, that one game against the Lakers where he literally was carrying them against, I believe it was just AD and Westbrook that game, but he was going crazy in the Staples Center, or I think it was called the Crypto.com Arena at that time. But he was carrying them. And then another game that comes out the top of my head, he literally gave Jimmy Butler 46, damn near 50. He was killing Jimmy Butler, killing him. So I'm starting to see a lot of things in R.J. Barrett. My one thing is, got to be better around the rim. He's one of the worst finishers around the rim, statistical wise and eye test wise. But other than that, man, I'm actually starting to become a fan of RJ, especially when I watch his film. But just adding more to his game, that's his next step, because you can see at times it's only left, it's nothing else. But other than that, man, RJ Barrett is at number 9. Now at number 8, man, we have a guy that's kind of underrated over the last few years. One of my personal favorite guys in the NBA, Jeremy Grant. I think not a lot of people like Is there something I'm talking about? What the fuck? I think not a lot of people like Jeremy Grant because they look at him as one of those empty stats guys where he can go on a sorry team and just averages buckets. But I think Jeremy is more than that. What he really did was, to me, he went on this team to spread his wings, because you've seen it in his first few years in the league. I don't remember his time on the 76ers, I'm not going to lie, but I know he came out of Syracuse as just a dunker. That's it. And then he went to OKC and became a 3-and-D wing next to Russell Westbrook, because you have to shoot if you want to play with Russell Westbrook. He became a 3-and-D wing. Then he went to play with Jokic. He became more of an all-around player. He started to get a little bit of buckets, but it's mostly 3-and-D wing again. So he went to this team, got his money, became a more all-around player, became a hybrid 3-and-D wing. He's kind of to a different extent where he's a bucket at times, man. And I'm seeing him going to Dame and the Portland Trailblazers, and I think he's going to be their second best player in this year. And I think we're going to see that what he did was smart. He went to the Pistons to just widen his game a little bit more, get a better game, and now you're going to the Portland Trailblazers, and hopefully it works out, because that's the best wing Dame has ever played with. He's played with some nice defensive 3-and-D wings, but this guy, Jeremy Grant, he can actually go out there and be a buck. He can actually go out there and one night be your best player. So I'm excited to see him. What was that, number 8? Weird pause. I get it. Fuck it. I'm not editing that out. But at number 7, man, we have the newest NBA champion, Andrew Wiggins, man. I think this is one of the happiest I've been watching Andrew Wiggins, because I know a lot of people fell into that narrative of him being a superstar coming out of Kansas. And I kind of did too, because he was actually crazy in Kansas, and that high school tape is one of the best ever. But this is the Wiggins we needed, and this is the Wiggins that he always wanted to be, man. He just looks like he never wanted to be the main guy. So coming to this team where he's damn near the third or fourth guy some nights, it fits perfectly for him. And then in the playoffs, his impact, like, he's on this list mostly because of playoffs, because he played good the first half of the regular season, but the second half he was terrible. A lot of that was because Draymond was up, because Draymond, I don't think people realize. You'll see a lot of that. I'll talk a lot about how Draymond impacts the whole team in my next video. But in the playoffs, it was that nights where he was the second best player on the court. Not the second best player on the Warriors, but the second best player on the court. Andrew Wiggins was hooping the whole playoff. And then to see him make Jason Tatum look out of his element for a full 6 games, that was wild. To see him be the best defender we've ever seen on Luka Doncic in the playoffs, when he was guarded by Mikal Bridges, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, great defenders. That was crazy. Like, it was a coming out party. I hope he can carry on from this, but he hooped his ass off. And then in the finals, man, the way he was rebounding the ball, like, I don't think he ever rebounded like this. It was throughout the whole playoffs. I think him and Kevon Looney was leading the playoffs and rebounding. It was just crazy, bro. It was wilder than that game where he damn near had a double-double with 26 and 8 rebounds in that game 5. He kind of sealed the game because Steph Curry was playing bad that game. So somebody needed to step up, and he stepped up, man. That was his game, man. Andrew Wiggins has earned his spot on this list. So that's what we have at number 7. At number 6, not gonna lie, we have Chris Middleton. But Chris Middleton is on here and this high is because nobody under him is better than him. Before going into this list, I didn't even know if Chris Middleton played over 41 games. The motherfucker played 66 games. When? When did he play that? Because I swear he was in and out of the lineup for most of the years, man. I mean, most of the year. But I guess he played. I know he made an All-Star team. The only reason why I know that because Jrue Holiday should have definitely made it over him. But man, just looking at this list, man, like the guys under him, nowhere near better than Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton is him, the best fit next to Giannis they have in this league. Elite scorer, great defender, underrated, hella underrated. When he was, man, his playmaking is hella underrated. Man, Chris Middleton is him. So I had to put him over those guys. Even though I don't remember him playing basketball. I don't remember, bro. He doesn't have one moment that sticks out to me this season. And Chris Middleton is nice. Like, I'm a Chris Middleton guy. I just don't remember it. I don't. Now, at number 5, we have DeMar DeRozan, man. DeMar DeRozan hooped his ass off this year. I still wish he would have went to the Grizzlies. That was my hope. But going to this team, making this team, at times they were a number 1 seed before they got the injury bug like we did. But yeah, he hooped crazy this season. Super consistent. The numbers are crazy. I don't remember off the top of my head, but the numbers are crazy. Damn near, I believe it was him and Chris Paul going at it for the clutchest player in the league as far as stats, but just off of eye test, he was by far the clutchest player in the league. The 2 back-to-back game winners, the one in the corner and the one off of 1 foot. Wow. The first half of the year, DeMar DeRozan was top 10 player in the league. Made All-Stars, and he was a starter. Like, he was dogging. Bro. Mid-range killer, the best mid-range person we have in this game. I was excited to see him going back to old DeMar DeRozan, because I miss old DeMar DeRozan. We didn't really get to watch him that much in San Antonio, and then in Toronto, it never really led up to nothing. It didn't lead up to nothing this year, but like regular season, DeMar, he was hella fun to watch. And then just the whole Chicago team in the regular season before the injury started to stockpile, they were mad fun to watch. He was the leader of that team, so I had to give him his respect. I believe he finished 8th in the MVP race, so he had a really good year. Kind of faded out to the Warriors at the end of the year. Had a bad playoffs, and that's why he's under the player that's above him, because I got to start taxing him for that. Like, these bad playoffs are stacking up. You're 33. Are you going to get one? I don't think so if you keep playing like this. So I had to give him that. But yeah, DeMar DeRozan, number 4. Now at number 4, man, we have my boy, one of my favorite players, Brandon Ingram. Now, B.I. had a decent regular season, should have been an all-star. Then amazing second half of the season to carry this team to a play-in spot. Then had 2 elite play-in games to take this team to the playoffs. And in his first playoffs, he averaged an efficient 27, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. Proved he had all the capabilities to be a playoff racer. It is time that we give B.I. his respect. He's earned it. He's been better than guys like Donovan Mitchell, Ja Morant, Zion, Bradley Beal, and he's close to the tier of guys like Devin Booker, Trae Young, and Jason Tatum even there. The reason why I say that and the reason why I make that statement is because when we look at a guy like B.I., he's damn near unstoppable. Like, for example, let's look at the last playoff series that he was in against the Phoenix Suns. The first few games, they tried to stick Mikal Bridges and Jay Crowder on him, and he simply just dominated them. In every aspect of the game, he dominated them. Then they said, okay, what we're going to do is send frequent double teams, even triple teams at times, and try to rough him up. The reason why you can't do that on a guy like Brandon Ingram, because for a small forward, he's also one of the elite passers they have at that position. He's also one of the elite playmakers they have at that position. You can't do that on a 6'11" guy who can make every pass on the court. He can generate for others. You can't double triple team him, because now you're just leaving other players wide open. He's going to make that pass. That's why I'm saying he's an unstoppable force. The only way you can stop B.I. if he's missing, but you've seen it in the playoffs. Okay, we're going to let him try to beat us one-on-one. All right, he's killing us one-on-one. Now let's send a double or a triple team. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and drop 22 and 11 in a closeout game. Like, stuff like that. You can't stop a guy like this. That's why I think he's close to guys like Jason Tatum, Trae Young, Devin Booker, because those guys have the same things. When you try to take Trae Young out of a game with scoring, okay, now he's going to be one of the best playmakers in the league. We seen they try to take Jason Tatum out of a game, especially game one in the finals. Okay, now I'm gonna go playmake. But Brandon Ingram's a way better playmaker than Jason Tatum. But still, like, you just can't shut down players like this, man. I know you can probably use that argument for a lot of stars, but Brandon Ingram, man, he's different, man. I had to give him a spot over DeMar. I think he's past Chris Middleton. I think he's in the door with Jason Tatum. I think he's close. I think it's closer than people thought. It was always closer than people thought to me. But this year, Jason Tatum, his defense kind of made it spread apart. But man, that playoff series from Brandon Ingram, he brought it right back, man. Brandon Ingram is him. He's him. Now at number 3, we have Jason Tatum. Y'all know me. I'm very critical of Jason Tatum, but I can't downplay his game. I can't do none of that, man. This season, he made a lot of improvements. His defense was never this good. Never as good. He upped his defense, helped his team be an all-time defense. It's one of the best defense we've ever seen. And he played a big part in that. I'll say he was their second best perimeter defender after Marcus Smart. I give him some respect. Even though fuck it. Yeah, and then on the offensive side, man, the one thing that I always wanted him to raise was his playmaking, and he did that. It's not on the same tier as other guys like Jimmy Butler or Brandon Ingram, but he raised his playmaking up a lot. Like that game one in the finals was amazing because Andrew Wiggins took him out that game scoring wise, but playmaking wise, he helped them make that comeback in the fourth quarter. So I had to give him his respect with that. My whole gripe with Jason Tatum is he still does the same stuff where he's a shot chucker. He's a forcer. I don't like guys like that because you hurt your team so much, and we seen in the finals. He hurt his team a lot because he was forcing all them damn shots. And when you have a guy that's playing amazing defense on you like Andrew Wiggins, the stuff you try to do, you can't get that off. You can't get no sidestep threes on him. It was just that was always my whole thing with Jason Tatum. I just don't think he's a smart offensive player. I think the shots go in and they look good, but when you have an Andrew Wiggins or when you're missing, you're gonna look bad, and that's how I looked in the finals. That's exactly how I looked in the finals. But other than that, man, he still had an amazing season. First team All NBA, I believe. Top 5 in the MVP race, or he should have been top 5 in the MVP race. So shout out to him, man. He hooped. I can't take that away from him at all. And at number 2, we have my GOAT, LeBron James. It's nothing much I can really say, man. A 37-year-old averaging 30 points. I don't care what era of NBA it is. That's still crazy. Sucks we didn't make the playoffs. My whole thing was why he's number 2 on this list because damn, we couldn't even make the play-in. Like, my whole thing with LeBron is I think his impact has gotten worse. Because the whole stigma was what LeBron was, no matter who is around him, he's going to take them to a point where you're satisfied. Like, if we made the play-in, I understand AD's out. We got Russell Westbrook who doesn't fit at all. I understand we going to suck. But damn, we couldn't even make the play-in. Then your defense got worse. You didn't play no defense at all. Leadership wasn't really there like that. His playmaking didn't really take a step back, but like you're gonna play with Russell Westbrook, so you're not gonna play make as much. The stuff like that look like it's like he took a step back this year, even though he averaged 30, which is crazy. It's crazy. Don't get me wrong, it's crazy. But yeah, I couldn't put him over KD. KD's number 1 if you didn't know, and I actually didn't see if KD was a small forward, but he has to be. Fuck, he might have been a power forward. I don't care. Listen, I don't care. I'm not going back and doing the rest of this. At number 1, we have KD, man. I'm not going to be like a lot of people and just look at that last series and paint that as that is who Kevin Durant is. No, that's not what Kevin Durant is. When Kevin Durant was healthy, this team was a number 1 seed by like 5 games or something in the beginning of the year with like 30 games played already. They were a number 1 seed. Then he got hurt. They went all the way down to a 12 seed. Then he came back. He carried them back up to a 7 seed. They won the play-in game by far. They fucked us up. Darius Garland was the only person that came to play that night. And then had that little setback in the playoffs. But other than that, man, KD's still KD. Still top 3 player in the league. He's still him. So I'm not going to lower him for that, man. Especially when you look at it, what he's dealt with. Kyrie playing half the games. Actually, Kyrie played like 30 games last season. You have Steve Nash. You had that whole James Harden drama, Ben Simmons drama. He dealt with a lot. That's my only excuse. So that's it for this video. Like I said, check out the TikTok. check out the YouTube shorts. Let me know how y'all think about these night videos. I might start doing them a lot. It just helped me. It helped me relax. I like this. So shout out to y'all. I will be back in a couple days. Peace.
Got the recipe.